All right, how you getting on? Welcome to 2021, right? Or what I'm like fucking hell. Anyway, I made a mistake. Guys, I've made a mistake. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Listen, I'm calling this year, this is what I'm calling 2021. 2020, and then the 2, and then you have in parentheses, together as, in close parentheses, 1. Does that make sense? I'm not calling this year 2021. I'm calling this year 20 together as 1. That's what I'm calling this year. But I in future will be saying all the parentheses and everything like that. There'll be no syntax, whatever. I don't know what the syntax means. Does it mean misspelling? Because whatever. Anyway, look, how are you? How's your granny for Slack? Is she even on Slack? Is she finally making the move? Other IM platforms are available. Look, are they? Is she? Hey, is your? How's your granny? Is she all right? Yeah, all right. Just checking. I don't know. Listen, I had a good break. I felt rejuvenated, and I haven't in a while. Haven't in a good long while. No, I felt like I was coming up with stupid ideas for things. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I was making myself laugh with silly voices again. You know, just sitting there with nothing to do, just doing my little American character who, my kind of American Irish guy who hasn't seen his kid in 20 years. Hey man, I haven't been back in the old Emerald Isle in many a year, man. Saying this, just talking in accents to my boy, teaching him how to iron a shirt. But doing my Dublin Frenchman, you want to put the fucking collar up there, you want to iron out the creases, man. Like, get the fucking valleys out, you know what I mean? Out the crease. And just doing my silly voices again. And I've decided I'm doing videos again. I'm doing videos again. I don't know if that's the truth. Look, I'm not committing to anything. I backed out of that straight away. But I miss my characters. I miss my silly billies. I should be fucking Callan's Kicks. I should be like, get this guy out. Get this guy, roll this guy out. This guy's Callan's Kicks. You know what I mean? That's what they should be saying. But they don't. Because I haven't done them in a while. I haven't done characters in a while. You might not even be au fait with the fact that I'm a Facebook comedian. You might not even be au fait with that. You know what I mean? I'm not, by the way. You know? I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm one of my loose goals. I'll tell you, hey, you can call me bloody one of the Nolan sisters because these are my loose goals. I don't know. Is she on Loose Women anymore? Talk amongst each other for a second. Loose Women cast. Loose Women nude pics. Colleen Nolan naked. Ruth Langsford, don't even know who she is, in the nip. Ruth Langsford topless pics Marbella 2021. I don't even know who she is. Who's Ruth Langsford? Talking with yourself there a second. I tell you, I should be so bloody lucky. She's beautiful. If I stumble across that fucking leaked gold, man, you shouldn't be leaking photos. This is what I'm saying, right? Look, we all had a great laugh when we didn't all have a great laugh. A lot of it wasn't a great, but I mean, we didn't know better then. I was a juvenile boy when the fappening happened. Famously, when the fappening happened, was it March 3rd, 2013? When did the fappening happen? The fappening was when all of the nude pictures of celebrities was released online. The fappening date, 2014 was the fappening. The fappening was the great iCloud leak. When all the lovely look, I don't know. Am I being serious here for a second? Visa, you can't do it. You don't do that anymore. You shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it then. Before then, it was all the Mr. Skin. Oh my God, you've seen people naked. Leaked pornos, and thinking that it's all for your consumption. Thinking that you are not enabling it. Whatever. I'm not getting into that. You know how I feel about that. You know that I like women. I support women. In fact, this whole podcast, later on in the podcast, I'm going to be telling you about how you can directly support women. Not in a real way, not in an actual good way, but in a kind of trendy way by being okay, here we go. 2020, 21. 22 gather as one. That's when you put the parentheses and cross the C's like Moses, spreading your legs like a whoa Jesus. I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, I haven't been talking performative to anyone in a while, so you're going to have to bear with me while I get my sea legs back, my sea ward. Look, this is the year. What was I talking about? Was I talking about the fappening? Was I going to talk about that? Loose women. How did I even get onto that? Yeah, I've decided this year to take Nollaig very seriously. Nollaig is women's Christmas, just Christmas. It's the day when them rolls are reversed, hunty. Okay, you better wash your own hanky, you wanky, huh? The roles are being reversed. If you think your girl, I don't want to do a African American person's voice there, so I shouldn't have. This is the thing. I don't even know what I can fucking do anymore, but I love it. I want to be better. I want to be a better person. Do you know what I mean? Just tell me what to do. This is what I told you. I told you I had that paradigm shift in 2020, which I'm now referring to as 22 together as 0 because we weren't together then. But now it's 22 together as 1. And that paradigm shift, which is enjoying the fact that you don't know everything and that someone else might know more and accepting that. Do you know what I mean? Whether that comes to learning how to, I don't know, fuse a plug or learn about equality. Whatever it is. Let someone who actually knows what they're talking about from their experience tell you. I've already talked about this in the Patreon, so I'm not talking about that whole thing, about my paradigm shift. But I'm just saying, I'm going to be a better man. And how I am going to be a better man, to start off the year, is by adopting the holiday of Nollaig I think more about traditions now since having a child, right? I think more about traditions, and I want to be a cool-ass neo-pagan. I'm kind of a witch anyway. I'm a witchy fucker, right? I'm a witch, baby. So look, I'm not doing any lofty goals this year, okay? I'm not going to talk to you about how I want to do, I have a new hour special, a taped hour special for, as a piece. That's something I'd love to do. If we can do gigs, I'd love to do that, Actually, do you know what? Save all this solid, bold content here for the main pod, where I'm going to be telling you about the goals I'd love to do, which I wasn't going to do, and I'm going to do anyway, if this year actually becomes a year where we can do it. And I'm going to tell you a couple of tips for the modern man and the modern lady that I've pulled out of my arse for celebrating Women's Christmas. As of listening to this pod, it is tomorrow. So there you go. That's. I've told you, I have not been speaking performatively. I don't even know if that's a word. Gary, you had a nice break. I tell you, I had a fucking lovely break. Look, we'll talk about it all. This is the opening bit, and then I play the theme song. I'm just remembering how to do this, and then I get on to the actual pod. Now, here we go. And welcome to Tony Canwell's Hit Show. It's Tony Canwell's Hit Show. Lovely stuff there. Look, I'm sorry about that intro. I have no doubt that there is about 20,000 open loops of chat that have not been closed or followed up on. I need to get myself a little Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a blunderbuster who looks nothing like Bruce Willis. It's a looper reference there for you to close some of these loops for me. I don't know how I got on to talking about loose women and Colleen Nolan in the nip. I don't know how gosh, beautiful woman, beautiful woman. She's she's a good looking girl. How did I get onto this? Sorry. Anyway, I'm just saying that I'm just saying that. Just saying. Here, what's the crack? You's fucked off to Australia, London. It's no fucking crack. Tell you what, I like Emma Kerwin. He's a fellow peer. slam poetry artist like myself. But that one really, when I was living in London and I watched that Just Saying video, and he said that, where's the crack, you's all fucked off, that fucking, oh my God, hurt me big time. Big time. So I hope maybe I can hurt him in a similar way. Maybe hit home something that he's guilty about. So if anyone's got any dirt on my peer, and I do actually very much like him, Emmett Kerwin, that I can make him feel guilty about, like he did for me emigrating, that'd be great. Anyway, listen, I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter. You should have known. You should be au fait with that sort of shit. You should be well up on your pop culture. But look, that intro, that. Oh my God, Gary's not even going to let me stutter today. So you're in for a fucking treat today. Now listen, what was I going to say? Yeah, I had a lovely break. I did. I'll let the fuck all chicken let you know what I was. Mr. Chicken, Mr. Chicken. Remember that time fucking Clint Eastwood interviewed a chair, believing it was Barack Obama. Mr. President, can you tell me why you fucking... I don't know what he said, but it was stupid bit. It was a shite bit. That's why you can't do improv solo. You have to rehearse because you can't bullseye. You can't be buzzing off a chair. Anyway, so here's the fuck all chicken, pardon, to tell you... I'm getting to the bit. Here's the fuck all chicken. Oh my God, to tell you what I was up to over the Christmas break. Fuck all chicken. What was Tony up to? Fuck all. He was up to fuck all. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing nothing, and I loved him. And I didn't even get locked loads. I should have. I tell you, that's microdosing. That's the vibe for me. 2 pints a day is the new microdosing buzz that I'm on now. Stops me from getting a hangover. But whatever, you get a nice buzz off it, whatever, fucking. I tell you what, you want to talk about Pig Watch? Latest on Pig Watch for me. I tell you, I'm a little dough man. I'm Mr. Soft. That's me, Mr. Soft from the fucking Soft Mints ad. If you don't know what that is, you shouldn't, because it's an ad from like 25 years ago. When was Mr. Soft? Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm not Googling Mr. Soft. I'll just tell you that I'm a bit of a doughier boy. Because I tell you, I'll look up Mr. Soft, and then I'll start looking up old ads, and then I'll start, looking up jingles again. Mr. Frosty is such fun. He makes treats for everyone. Put the ass under his hat and stuff like that. Do you know what's a banger though? I was looking up recently. The Moro ad, and it was it was all like fucking train spotting, fucking fast cuts. If you're looking for a bite that's as big as a bus, you want biscuit, you want caramel. Oh yeah. I remember all the ads that were just fucking blatantly like just selling you sex, like getting a soother, and it was for ladies because lads don't have sore throats apparently, but you'd be there, you just. I'm getting excited. The ad would tell you that if you get a Hall soother and you eat it, some lad is going to fucking wear the neck off you while you're in an elevator listening to Robert Palmer. The lights are on, but you're not home. You're literally eating a lozenge. Do you know what I mean? It's insane. Because that wouldn't make you feel better. If my wife had a sore throat and I went over trying to kiss her, I'd be like, get the what makes you think I feel sexy now? The fucking state of me, she'd say to me. And I say, baby, you're gorgeous. You'd feel that way. I'm not saying she's a stunning woman, but you know what I mean? Sometimes you need to feel sexual. What am I talking about? So you need to feel sexy. I tell you, without a lofty goal for 2020, what will make you feel sexy? Right? What will make you feel a sexual man? Tell you what me, you don't need to know about me. I should moisturize more. That'll make me feel sexy. An iron shirt makes me feel sexy. So there I'm going to be walking around like a fucking starchy, moist man. And you're just going to be radiating sexuality. I'm going to be radiating sexuality. Who's this character? Whoever he is, sounds racist. So I'm going to bow out of that. I'm going to fucking get off the fucking starboard bow. Star Wars bow. Tell you, go in there, ask for a Darth Vader little fucking dumpling. It's a Star Wars bao. It's a Star Wars bao. Go into that Chinese restaurant and ask them for the Darth Vader dumpling. It's called a Star Wars bao. Star Wars bao. Doesn't matter. Is this? No, I'm not. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to focus on something here. I actually did have people message me, say, hey, can I just ask, do you actually have ADHD? That sounds like such a fuck. Guys, you actually, like, I'm actually mad. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, people say, like, mad. I'm actually mad. Like, I'm actually mad. The kind of thoughts and stuff that I have about people and murder. I'm actually mad, No, listen, come here to me. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, I'm a doughy boy. I'm a little dough boy. I think you could hide a whole hand in my belly. I can see your belly. Sir Patrick Stewart, I can see your belly. I don't know if you're a new listener of the pod. I reference that as something I say quite a lot because Patrick Stewart, I love him to bits. I want to kiss him on the lips. But Patrick Stewart, I think it was the Brits or something like that. James Corden didn't announce him properly, and then Patrick Stewart was like, "Oh, by the way, from where I was sitting, I could see your belly." And clanger, bring, bang, bang, bang. Well, chap went into fucking Halfords, started fucking swinging, and clang, 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 all the metal hitting the ground with those clangers. But look, you do you. Do you know what I mean? And be kind to yourself. But what I need to do to be kind to myself is sometimes go pig watch. And I tell you, this little pig, was this little piggy was fucking let out of the hutch, the pig hutch, the sty, and was left out in the wild so long it's gone bloody feral. This pig. That was me over Christmas. A feral boar. And not boring. I was very entertaining to my wife. She was cracking up all the time, finding me really funny. But I mean, a wild boar. Grew hair and tusks. And if I was in Lord of the Flies, I'd be considered a beast, the monster, or whatever it is. I haven't read it. I've never actually read it. I've never read it. I actually haven't read that. I haven't seen that film since I was a kid. I don't remember now. I haven't seen it. I didn't see the film. It's a big blockbuster film. Oh, I haven't seen that in years. I actually don't remember Anne from it. I haven't seen the film. In translation, I haven't seen the film and I'm embarrassed. Oh, Chinatown. I actually haven't seen that since I was 3. Oh, what happens again? Jack Nicholson, isn't it? Yeah. No, I haven't seen it, right? Oh, Fifth Element. Jesus, I haven't seen that since I was fucking 1 or something. I've never seen The Fifth Element. Whoa, you never seen The Fifth Element? Yeah, that's my scolding that I have to take because I haven't seen The Fifth Element. Just rather than being a liar, right? So there's a little. So anyway, this is what I'm going to say. Here's a little resolution for you, right? I'll tell you the lofty goals in a sec that I'd love to do. Is this fucking listenable to anyone? Anyway, the lofty goals if things go well. What I'd like to do, and I'm not going to talk about personal family shit because that's not your fucking beeswax. If you want that shit, become a close friend. You have to pay for that. Becoming a close friend on my Patreon. That's one of the perks, actually. If you go over there, you can be a close friend, and you can see all. Well, I don't post on it ever. Only when I'm kind of wanting to speak directly to the patrons. Anyway, you don't even need to know that right now. I'm just saying that instead of having lofty career goals, in terms of the personal goals, I want to feel sexy. And I want to have iron shirts and be moist, right? As well as that, I have goals, but look, if I don't achieve them, it's fine. I don't know if maybe it works for some people. The whole you got to focus on it, you got to write down a bit of paper, you got to put that paper in an envelope, you got to burn that, and you have to think about nothing else. We'll do whatever. If that works for you, that works for you. That's great. I find that when I've done that, it has been at the expense of the other spokes of my goal wheel. The flat spots on my goal tire have shown when I've been more focused on one thing rather than the other thing. So I'd love some small 1% success in fitness. I would love a 1% success in work productivity. And I'd like maybe a percentage growth in reach of my various platforms. Maybe something like that. A bit more simple. And But I tell you, happiness as well, because something that I found was weird over Christmas, right? Even though I was having such a great time and I would love to do, and here's the chicken again, fuck all! I love doing fuck all. And I was happy and I was content. There's a difference. I was still looking at my phone a lot. And I know I said, like, whatever, get off people's fucking case if they look at their phone. There's 8 billion people on that and there's only one of you in the room. You fucking go and let me speak to them people and not you. But, and I know I've said that. But I got a very jarring weekly, phone time alert there. Honestly, it knocked me for 10. So, is that knocked me for 7? Knocked me for 12? I don't know what that is. Anyway, so I did realize that I was scrolling in my phone. I was on TikTok quite a lot, looking at a lot of IKEA hacks and a lot of people, cleaning fucking plush teddies with a fucking Hoover and all that shit that you see on TikTok. Tell you what pisses me off about TikTok, right? Is like, it took me a while to wrap my head around the idea that people just are stealing sketches. People will just steal sketches. And I'm not saying that from personal experience. The people have like reposted sketches. But you see people posting a sketch, you're like, oh my God, that's really funny. Posted like an hour ago. And then you realize, and then it scrolls up the original sketch that was posted 12 hours ago. And you're like, oh, they just completely stole the idea. But the whole thing is like, that's what they do. You steal a sketch, you steal a dance. It's you doing the version of the thing that you found and you like. And that's just the policy. That's just what is to be expected, okay? But people acting like they came up with these life hacks themselves, right? I must have seen people telling me to confit fucking garlic and spread it on a bit of bruschetta about 20,000 times. I saw guys life hack, put a load of garlic cloves in oil and like confit it and then take it out and there you go, love a little garlic snack. And then like that appearing 20,000 times on my feed. Guys, I just found the greatest hack. I know! I found it too! Like a second ago. And people telling me how to wrap presents. If you don't have enough wrapping paper, guess what you do? You turn the present diagonally. Oh my God. Can everyone stop telling me to turn a fucking present diagonally to wrap it? But anyway, I kept scrolling TikTok and it was just, as I've described it before, this itch that I couldn't scratch. But while also being entirely content. Lovely, clean house, full belly, kid playing on the floor. We're watching something on TV. We're warm. The Christmas lights are on. It's cozy. Yeah, I'm still chasing something in TikTok, or Reddit or Instagram that I don't need to, and it's habitual. And I always thought, I'm always looking at my phone when I'm upset or anxious or depressed, and I do that a lot, and it makes me feel better or scratches some sort of itch. But even when I was happy, I was doing it. So it was interesting kind of getting these levels. In life you can be spinning a lot of plates career-wise, friends, family-wise, but also in your own head. In your own head, my friend, right? You're also spinning a lot of plates, okay, my friend? Listen to me, right? You're spinning a lot of plates, my friend. And so you might also be happy and also kind of have this little niggling, anxiety that might pop up. That's probably fueled by the very thing that you're looking at on your phone. Still, though, 8 billion people, one person. 8 billion people, one person. Giving me phone, stop talking to me all the time. I'm not directing that at anyone specifically, but you know what I mean. Look, I'll tell you what some of my goals... Actually, will I tell you? Well, I suppose I said I would. I tell you what I want to do this year. I want to become a part-time professional streamer. I want to do more live streaming. I really enjoy it. I watch a lot of live streaming. I believe it's the future. The more and more I watch of it and what people are able to do with it, and the kind of comedy you can do with it, the sloppy fucking green screens and stupid sketches you can do on live streaming, I want to do it, and now, thanks to the very kind contributions and support of people on the Patreon, I now have the money put aside to get a PC to do that. Look, the Mac's great. MacBooks are cool, right? MacBooks are fucking cool. I remember fucking just... I'm swearing so much. I tell you, that's another podcast. A podcast, me sitting here with 200 coppers. I'm not talking about bloody Sting and the like. I'm talking about the police. I'm talking about a load of coins, and I'm going to throw them in every time I swear. That'll actually maybe be the next pod. Get a load of coins, and I'll have a little swear jar, and I'll see how often I swear. But I want to be live streaming. I want to start live streaming games. See, this is what I'm trying to figure out now. As I get older, I need to figure out a way of like streamlining the things. So figure out ways to kind of have goals that overlap with other goals. If I was to live stream the podcast, right, and having done my research and live stream the podcast, I can put that out as a podcast. I can put it out as a live stream. People can watch. People can comment. It can go as an audio. It can go as a video. it ticks all the boxes to be able to do that. So, and then also I get to play video games during the day. And my wife can say, here's the chicken to tell me what my wife can say when I'm playing video games all day. Fuck all, it's my job. Not that she would. She supports me becoming a professional streamer. So that's something I want to do. And I have the money put aside to get the PC. So that is what I'm going to do. As well as that, Kamaleshin. I want to do more sketches again. Right? I want to bring back all the characters. I want to bring back the Maz Mate, Homer, Dublin Frenchman, Joe Cockatoo. I want to have them out. I want to make sure that you're seeing them at least once a week, right? I'm saying that now so that I stick to it, even though, who knows, I said it last year. But whatever. Because what I realized recently, especially over Christmas when I was just doing silly voices to make the boy laugh, was that kind of feeling of just doing something for my own personal enjoyment, I get the biggest buzz off that with the sketches, with having something that I've made and edited, and then I'm just watching before I post it, where it exists in that judgment-free vacuum where there's no likes, there's no shares, there's nothing like that attached to it. It just exists purely for my own enjoyment. So I want to have that again, and I love that. That's probably the feeling that I get the biggest buzz off. That's the feeling that I come home from work and I feel like that's the most successful day ever is when I have something like that in the back pocket made. So, but also, as I said, this goes in line with other goals that I would have. So if I do that, then people who might not even, because the podcast is the main thing. Podcast is my main job. So people who aren't familiar with me might see the sketch, might bring them to the podcast, and then, that's might help that kind of growth. These are kind of in line with the kind of goals that I already have of keeping what I have, which is this podcast, but also having that fulfillment. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So that's a kind of goal that I would have. Get me driver's license, yeah, whatever. Maybe I won't fail on the first fucking turn at the fucking thing, and run a 10K. We'll see. We'll see. But look, enough about bloody me chatting on about me. I think what we should also look at is what we can do for other people. And no better way than how about looking after some of the girls. Okay. Here come the girls. Diet Coke break and such and things. So look, I'm going to tell you a bit about Nollaig and look, if you're a friend of mine, you probably know that I only found out about this thing last year. I literally walked into my studio last year, and I share a studio with a lot of fine artists, and the ladies wished me a fine, happy Nollaig my friend Sal. And I said, what fucking words I don't know what language you're speaking. What are you talking about? She goes, Nollaig Little Christmas. And I was like, I do not know. What am I dreaming? Am I actually hearing what you're saying? I had no idea what you're saying. And she explained to me that Nollaig is Women's Christmas. It is the 12th day of Christmas, where traditionally celebrated more in Kerry and Cork, but it's making a bit of a it's whatever. I'm done, bored with that sentence. But it's the day where women. The roles are reversed and men do the bloody work for a change. When women meet up, we meet up with boom, ga bum bum ga bum bum ga bum bum ga Nollaig 2021 together as one. Now we're here for the ladies, the babies, and looking at having a nice little brunch. That's what you do. You have a brunch. You can have a brunch. Now, obviously, you're not going to be going having high tea anywhere, having prosecco now. But traditionally women will go around, eat the last of the Christmas cake. Kind of the lads be doing all the fucking work and gaff for a bloody change, bloody change. And the ladies, it's all about, sisterhood and that kind of, I don't know what it's fucking about. All I know is I have to do a lot of fucking housework, right? But I'll tell you a little bit about it, right? Because I was, as a neo-pagan, I want to introduce more Irish traditions into my household. I would love now the young boy that he respects women, and that he knows that after Christmas is a day where his ma goes off and whatever pampers herself, and that's when we have to do a big job in the house. Do you know what I mean? I'd like that to be a tradition to thank because I'm not doing fucking. We're split in terms of the jobs, but I mean she does 90% of the jobs. So I thought since I had not heard about it, would pass it on to you because maybe you hadn't heard about it, or maybe you did know about it, and I'm just a big dum-dum, right? Either way, I'll tell you about this. This was an article written by Marion McGarry, who is from the Galway Mayo Institute of Technology, And this was on the RTE website today, so I'm literally, hey, is this a runny egg? Because it's getting poached. Is it an egg in a big bowl and a bit of water? Because I'm being poached. Is this a elephant's tusk? Or whatever, you know what I mean. So the 12th and final day of Christmas, January 6th, was known as in Ireland as Nollaig or Women's Christmas / Little Christmas. Oh, you enjoying your little Christmas there, are you? While I'm fucking slave for a change. Slave making cooking a dinner. Oh, did you have a nice little Christmas, did you? I'm sorry if that sounds passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive. As a reward for their hard work over the Christmas season, it was a day off from all the housework for women, and traditionally roles were supposed to be reversed in the home, where men did the work, the woman's work in the house, while women rested and gathered together informally. I tell you, weird ability to reverse the roles. You know, I tell you, like, yeah, Terry, how about you find an illegal stream from MasterChef to professionals? Yeah, I'm not surprised you can't get the VPN working. I couldn't get the VPN working for the BBC iPlayer. So there you are. Let you flounder there and have your masculinity be in question because you can't find the latest torrent for Wonder Woman 1984. Do you know what I mean? How dare you make me feel so small? She literally does everything else. So the custom was women made social calls to the homes of their friends and families, and they still should. I'm not saying that. I'm reading the article here. And enjoyed tea and the last of the Christmas cake. However, as it occurred on the very last day of Christmas, it was acknowledged by some that the treats the women enjoyed were the dregs or the leftovers of the festive season. Unlike, of course, men's Christmas Day, when everyone enjoyed the first and finest of the treats. So if we were to look at that from our home, the dregs would be... Actually, we've got some pretty good dregs. We weren't... I know, Pig Watch, but we do have some pretty good dregs left. We've got a whole box of Heroes there. We've got some Tato Occasions, which are in there. The salt and vinegar ones I ate. The cheese and onion, Terry doesn't know they're her favourite. I ate them. I literally was lying on me fucking back playing Cyberpunk on my projector, eating a whole bag. I think if I were to look at it, it said, you know, average portion 1/8 of a bag. You know, as they do, as they lie to you. So I had the whole bag. But anyway, we got some pretty good dregs if the women were to come over, maybe next year. It is considered unlucky in Ireland to take down the tree and decorations before the 12th day. Fuck! That's what it is! Look, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I've been spilling shit. I've been spilling everything. I'm not a spiller. I've been spilling everything. I spilled... And Terry's been spilling shit. I got rid of the tree, right? I was looking at the tree and I'm like, Terry, I don't want this fucking tree here anymore, right? To be honest, I want a fake tree. I like the fake tree. I like how you can make it look however you want. I like the task of putting the tree together. I like the fact that you can bring it out whenever you want. You just pack it away. You can bring it out in October if you want. Halloween's over, November 1st or whatever, bring out the Christmas tree. You know, I don't like all the pines on the floor. I tell you, there were so many bloody pines on the floor this Christmas, you'd swear it was the audition room for the new Star Trek film. Chris Pine. There's so many bloody pines on the floor, you'd swear, whatever. But anyway, I said, Terry, we're getting rid of this fucking tree. So I drove it up to Rathfarnham, Castle Car Park, and I fucked on top of a load of trees. I think that's where they were getting rid of them. I saw someone else doing the same thing. But coming back, I knocked over a plant pot, and I had to hoover that up. And then I was hoovering it up, and it was spitting out from the Dyson. Yes, I have a Dyson. It made it much easier, I have to say. But it was spitting out loads of other things. But then I kept spilling water. And I spilled my wine. We both spilled our wine. We've done nothing but spilling. Literally, I did it yesterday. Literally. And this is going to sound insane. Literally, since I dropped that tree off, we've been spilling stuff. That better be the end of it. Anyway, while the rest of the decorations were taken down and put away for another year, the holly was traditionally retained for Shrove Tuesday, where it would be used in the fire for cooking the pancakes on that day. Well, you better not be throwing out you fucking holly. How else am I going to make me crepes? How else am I going to make me fucking me jip? That's what my granddad used to say. Oh, what do you want on your pancake? Do you want a bit of jip? As he'd say for like the sif lemon. Do you want any jip on your pancakes? Well, hang on, give me holly there. I'll give you some jip on your pancakes. There was a number of other customs around Little Christmas. On this day in some parts of the country, mothers rubbed the tail of a herring across the eyes of their children to protect them, to give immunity rather, against disease for the rest of the year. Will you get your mammy's magic fishy there, rub it on your eyes, protect you from the Rona, will you? Mom, no. I think I still have me magic fishy from last year. Ma, please. It was also believed that one should have the floor swept and have a bucket of clean water ready before going to bed that night, and that water from the bucket should never be used. Why? A curious belief, was that the all well water in Ireland was said to turn into wine at midnight on Little Christmas. But no one was permitted to go out and observe this spectacle or even sample the water, lest they be met with very bad luck. Isn't that the most fucking temptress fucking... Oh, the water's wine, but don't even check if it's wine. And I'll fucking be done. There's a fucking bucket of wine on my floor, but you cannot have a fucking drink of it, because it's a magic wine, and you get bad luck if you do, right? That's the most Irish mentality, mammy, good biscuit stuff. We have a good bucket of wine on the floor, you're not having any of it. At midnight on Christmas Eve, farm animals were also believed to have had the power of human speech, but a terrible fate would await those who spied on them. That is a flick. Right, here's the premise, okay? A down on his luck drunken farmer, okay, who has a sheep, is lonely on Christmas Eve. Now, he's not going to fuck the sheep, right? Will you calm down? He's not going to fuck the sheep, right? John C. Reilly plays a drunken farmer. He breaks the taboo because he's so lonely and goes to speak to his sheep, voiced by John Cusack. But, of course, a terrible fate befalls him as the devil, played by John Malkovich, fresh from a victory in the Hellfire Club, decides he's going to take the soul of John C. Reilly, and the sheep and man must come together to protect... I don't know, whatever, I'm bored of the thing. So Women's Christmas was also associated with Irish death divination customs that were practiced at Halloween. One tradition is that a cake, in quotations, of mud or clay was made, sounds delicious, and candles named for family members in the house was placed onto it. The order in which the candles burnt indicated the order in which the owners of those candles would die. Oh, hey babes, I made you a cake. Oh yeah, here you go. It's a fucking pile of shit in a bowl, and see those candles, that's your family and they're going to die. So there you go. Happy fucking Women's Christmas. Thanks for not fucking even hoovering today. Here's a fucking cake for you. Here's a cake for you. And the ritual was accompanied by prayer and taken very seriously, with no lightheartedness allowed. Here's a little pro tip for you if you end up doing the old death divination shit pie cake, right? Lash a big confo candle or a big communion candle on there for you, and then put a little birthday ones around for your family. You know, so we're like, we do the divination thing. Lash a big fucking confo candle in there. They do confo candles. They should. If they don't, get on to me and I will be an influencer for them. Anyway, it was also, little tidbit here, January 6th was also the night of the big wind. Ihe na Gaehamora. In 1839, devastating hurricane hit Ireland, and over 100 dead and thousands homeless, with mass structural damage throughout the country. The storm was so strong and unusual that it was viewed as supernatural by some, and many people thought it was the end of the world. A report in the Freeman's Journal described Dublin City that evening. At intervals, dense cloud obscured the sky and added to the horror of the scene by the gloomy darkness they produced. For the aurora borealis burned brightly a great portion of the night, mantling the hemisphere with sheets of red. Jesus. Well, at least they got over that. 6 years later was the famine, so there you go. That's a shame. So look, that is the history of Nollaig na mBan. Didn't say anything about lifting the finger for the ladies. So that's the ladies. So these are, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but these are my commitments as an ally for women. That I said that like I was being facetious, but you know, I suppose I don't know. These are my commitments for Nollaig na mBan. This is what I'm going to do. Right. Normally I take the rubbish out anyway, but this day I'm not going to make a big song and dance about it. Flicking, shaking the bag. Terry, I'm just bringing it. Don't know if you can see there. I got a rubbish bag there. I'm just gonna bring the rubbish down. So, don't know if you know, just dropping down the rubbish down there. Just if you're wondering where I'm going, that's where I'm dropping the rubbish. I normally make a big song and dance about everything I do. I'm not gonna do it this year, including bringing down the rubbish. I'm also gonna make a quick healthy dinner, because sometimes I offer to do the cooking, right? But I end up just doing something really fatty that's easy, because making fatty food actually just is a little bit easier. And I act like a big song and dance, like, oh, but I made you a steak and a pan sauce and loads of chips. You know what I mean? But that's not how she wants to be eating. It's a new year. We want to be eating a bit more healthy. So I'm going to do a quick, easy, healthy dinner that I'm actually going to do tonight and have it ready so that I can just reheat it. So that way she's not even having to mind the kid. I'm trying to make her day easier. That's what I'm going to try and do. That's my commitment. If you want to do something similar, what's up to you if you're a guy. I'm also going to bake some croissants. There you are. I'm going to make some croissants. I'm going to make some croissants for my wife. I'm going to watch her eat them. I'm not going to have any of them. She's going to eat them alone while I watch. Are they flaky? Are they? Ah, good. Are they, can you tell, are they buttery? Are they? Good. And watch her eat them. You know what I mean? Because she should be going around having like little baked goods with her friends. She doesn't get to do that because of the Rona. So I'm going to watch her eat a load of croissants in front of me. I might have one. I'm going to do nappies. I'm going to put the kid down. I'm going to do all those little childhood things. I might even breastfeed. We'll see how we get on with that. I might, no, I'm obviously not going to do it. But I'm going to do all, I'm just going to pick up the slack. You know what I mean? And not make a big deal about it. I'm going to try and, we also have a shared folder in our our iPhone notes folder. A load of jobs. Might tick off some of them jobs. That's what I'm going to try and do. Might give her a blowy. I'll just try. So look, there are my little pro tips for Nollaig na mBan, a thing I found out only last year, but I'm bringing into my life. This is step 1 in introducing neo-pagan Irish traditions into my home. And I'm going to kick it off with Nollaig na mBan. I'll tell you, this is all leading up to my big death altar at Samhain, as and when we get onto that. But look, I hope you have a great rest of the week. If you would like more of this podcast, if you would like more of these pro tips, guess what? I got 44 other podcasts that you have not heard over on the Patreon. If you want to go over there and if you want to pay the equivalent of a price of a pint, in a Dublin pint, mind you, and you want to have access for all those episodes that no one's ever heard before, all loads of movie bakes, movie reviews that I've done, top 5 lists of favourite films, favorite games, favorite emo songs. You can check it out all over there on the Patreon. And or if you don't want to listen to those pods but you like this pod and would like to support it, you can also do that over there. Got some big things popping this year, but you know what? Again, they don't happen. Hey, it's all about being chill, being zen, and whatever. Make some croissants for the lady in your life this Nollaig na mBan. All the best. Take care. It's only a shit show.